the thing that was concerning was the actual ice cream itself.
It's just exactly what I thought it was going to be. And it actually looked exactly like an ice cream sandwich.
It
like,
did.
I thought
That's why it
look
was
different.
weird. Right? Like you see this
It's
ice cream sandwich.
What is the name of it when like food looks like something that it's not?
Is it cake?
Well, that's the show.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's called, though. That's like the scientific term. Is it
There's
cake?
a term for it.
Yeah, where you think you're about to eat a ham sandwich and then it's actually Jell-O.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a term. There's a vocabulary term for it. That is, I don't know it because it's never shown up on my toilet paper.
On your toilet paper?
Like vocabulary, word of the day toilet paper.
Is that the toilet paper you have in this house?
In my head, it is. In my head, I am that smart. And
I'm going to make my own word of the day toilet paper.
Just start writing words. You're going to just write cryptic messages to Kyle and put them like one square at a time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you unload the dishwasher?
And he's like, I already know all these words. And he just like breezes through it really quick. He's like,
these are easy.
He's like, I know these words.
Dishwasher. Totally know what that is.
Come on. Should we clap?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hi, I'm Maggie.
And I'm Amanda.
And we're sisters in law. We're watching Suits one episode at a time.
It's a show so nice, I've watched it twice.
And a show so great, I'm watching it late.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Maggie's never seen it and Amanda's obsessed. They don't wear fancy suits, they are casually dressed. They are sisters-in-law and they got a show about a law firm drama that aired a few years ago. Only Suits fans, 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 only Suits fans.
This is Season 7, Episode 7, Full Disclosure, and Season 7, Episode 8, 100. As of now, we're halfway through this season.
Officially.
Ding, dang, dong.
Ding, da, ding, ding, da, ding, ding. Mike's big ding dong.
That should be the name of the show. Should we title this episode just for extra listens this week, Mike's Big Ding Dong?
Of course we should.
Even though it really doesn't have anything to do with Mike's Big Ding Dong.
It's true. That's true. That's true. You know what? That's
Maybe
probably
it could be
what
Mike is/has a big ding dong.
Mike is/has a big ding dong.
Yeah.
That's probably good for algorithm because then if people are searching Mike is a big ding dong or if they're searching has a big ding dong.
It's inclusive.
It is. Of anything you could be searching about Mike and his ding dong.
I hope so.
Mike eats ding dongs.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of ding dongs, you know what sometimes goes over a ding dong if you can find a pair that fits? Briefs. Depends on how big the ding dong is.
Yeah.
I'm glad our parents don't listen anymore. Your mom does though.
Sometimes.
Yeah. She just pops in.
She pops in and out. Keeping it hundo.
Why is it hundo? Do you know?
Because hundo is short for 100.
No, why was the episode called 100?
100? I don't know.
I couldn't figure it out. I tried to count up. I don't think it was their 100th episode, but it could have been.
Season 7.
And there's 16 episodes.
7 times 10, 70. 7 times 6 is 70, 80, 90.
Is it 98?
98?
99? And maybe did they have a bonus one? No, we would have known.
Did they count the pilot as 2 episodes?
They should have. Maybe that's why.
Maybe.
Okay. I've written a brief. Everyone owes someone something at PSL, and they're all scrambling to make good on their IOUs. Harvey owes Alex for betraying him 10 years ago. Mike owes the prisoner some justice as he works to get this case to criminal court. Frank owes the truth in order for his daughter to see him as a good man. Mark owes Donna a divorce from his wife before they can reconcile their differences. Sheila owes her fiancé a big-time apology for seducing Lewis. And Lewis owes Gretchen an apology because, quite frankly, she didn't deserve to be talked to like that because she wasn't even around for all the Sheila Sass drama and she was just trying to do her job about the Columbia applicant and she puts up with Lewis's temper on a daily basis, so maybe Lewis should just give her the day off or buy her a new purse.
Gretchen deserves that, all of that.
Gretchen deserves all the glory in this show.
All of that and more.
I am obsessed with Gretchen. Didn't I tell you from the first, I was like, you finally get to meet Gretchen?
Yes.
She is, oh man.
She's so great.
She is really great.
It's nice to see her because we never got to meet Norma, but Norma sounded kind of like a real heel. And Gretchen, you could never complain about Gretchen.
No. She's on her toes.
She keeps us on our toes, not our heels.
All right, let's do it.
All right, before the credits, episode 7. Alex is pouring himself a glass of scotch after confessing his secret to Harvey, but we still do not know what that secret is. It's just been done. And then he says, you know what, Harvey? You did this to me. So, whoa, what a reveal that we don't know yet.
Right. We see a flashback. It's 7 years ago, so my brief is incorrect. And 7, 10.
You rounded up.
I did. I was trying to keep it even, Stephen. 7 years ago. Alex calls Harvey on a bluff at a poker game right after Lewis screwed him over to make partner. And, okay, you have a note here from Kyle.
Yes.
Would you like to read this?
So we're watching this and Kyle goes, that's a mistake. They made a poker mistake.
Okay.
So Alex says kings over 7, which is a full house. He said, which I didn't know what that is. And then Harvey says trip 7s, which is 3 7s. Which means, in this case, Harvey won in the show, but a full house, kings over 7, would beat trip 7.
Oh.
Is what Kyle said.
I believe him. Kyle knows poker.
I mean, he knows poker. Yeah.
Was he pissed?
No, he was just like, dang. It is kind of wild to have a mistake like that.
That people can catch. Kind of like Whitney catching. That's
APA.
not the APA. Like, that is not the rule.
Right.
Because there are poker players and psychologists who watch the show.
Yeah. And it's also like a quick Google. And Google was around when the show was made.
Poker. So were poker rules.
Poker
just
rules
generally
were around.
poker players.
APA was around.
Poker consultants.
Everyone. And they talk so much about poker that you would
is
think you would
interesting.
kind of make sure you knew it.
Dang. Good catch.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess maybe Kyle could be a poker consultant.
There we
on
go.
shows.
I'll send him out. I'll have him call up Aaron.
Quick depo.
Oh.
What subject could you be a consultant and like point out the flaws in a show? Remember how we were talking about a wealth consultant on the show Succession? Kyle could be a poker consultant. Whitney could be a APA or psychology consultant. What could you be a consultant
On a show? Mm-hmm. I think I would be a good consultant on like a reality show, being like, that's the cutaway. Like, cut to that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. You know, like someone says this, and then it's like, cut to that reaction. Yeah, I think I would be good because that's one of my favorite things about TV shows is when it's like a reality show. So you have these real camera angles and real reactions, but you can tell that they've edited to make a joke. Mm-hmm. So it's like, oh, someone's just standing there, but they're like looking dazed, and someone says something really stupid, and they cut to that person looking dazed. Like, oh, that's so great because now it totally sets the tone.
That's cool.
What about you?
It's tough. You know, I don't know that I could really, I don't know that there is anything where I could just come in hot and be like, I got this.
Coffee mugs and shots.
Sure, that, but that's not really a consulting role. What I was thinking, you inspired me based on what you said. I can spot a burp or a smack on a podcast coming.
That's for me.
When I'm editing, both of us. I can see it coming. Mm-hmm. I know exactly what it looks like. I also know what a looks like because it looks like a kind of a elongated yet squished dick, and I don't know how to explain that except our ums look like. Maybe I'll get a picture of it and we can post it on the in the show notes, which is Instagram.
I'm just sending you a bunch of dicks.
It's like a squatty long dick.
Squatty long dick.
It sounds like.
That's a mythical creature. Instead of like Bigfoot.
I think that's also the name of this episode.
Daddy long legs. It's squatty long.
Squatty long dick. It's literally a squatty long dick.
Ums are squatty long dicks.
So I think I could see it coming because I literally know. I was like, here it comes. So that's it. That's what I could consult on. If there was like a bunch of podcasts, like raw up on a bunch of different screens, like in a big room, I'd be like, you got one here on camera too. You got a daddy long dick over here. Here's a.
Cut those ums. Cut those.
Here comes a burp. Watch out. Oh, that's a deep one. That's a Coke burp. Like, I think I could spot all of that.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's really a marketable talent.
I can picture this room, and I think we should make it happen.
Okay. That's great.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We are on Rachel.
Yes.
She is in the kitchen. She is cutting onions without crying. And Mike comes in and says he is going to open up the Reyes case in criminal court. And he's not going to volunteer this information to Harvey, but he is going to tell him if he asks. And she's like, okay, I have just one question. What if Harvey asks me? And he says, you can tell him the truth.
Which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Rachel cutting onions. Have you watched her new show?
No, I haven't, but I've read a lot of reviews about it. None which are favorable.
I think people are being too hard on Meghan Markle.
I think they're being real hard on her.
On Meghan Sussex.
Yes. I think they are being very hard on her. And I've read the comments and I'm like, yes, I agree. Y'all are being too hard on her. Let her have a fucking cooking show.
Yeah.
Who cares?
I love the people saying like, this is a return to who she was before she was a royal.
Right.
Because she had that Tig blog. Mm-hmm. So I love it. And I have come around because I wasn't sure about Meghan Markle. Meghan Sussex. Mm-hmm. But now, after watching her in Suits, big fan.
Yeah. I'll watch it.
I will too.
Should we watch it?
We should watch it.
And do a review?
Mm-hmm. Just a quick one.
We'll do one quick one. A bonus episode?
Yeah.
Okay. A quickie.
Just a quickie.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Then we hear our favorite song.
A Greenback Boogie.
Which is now a franchise song.
It is. It's officially franchised over to Suits LA.
Yeah. All right. After the credits, Mike goes to see old Anita Gibbs to thank her for allowing him into the bar with the criminal Reyes case. It's his thank you present. I didn't know that's what you did. It's kind of like, oh, okay, we have push presents and then we have thank you presents for letting me into the bar.
Yeah, and my thank you present is you doing me a favor.
Yeah. Mike says it's a criminal conspiracy between 2 Fortune 500 companies, and if he brings some proof, then she will pursue it. But he has to bring it like above board because otherwise, if he's breaking privilege, then he can't use it. She can't use it.
Right. So Harvey then goes to visit Pat, who is at the construction firm, which is Reform Corps, I believe. And he presents a gift card to him to make things right. Pat does not believe that this case is closed, even though Harvey's like, case is closed, we're done. He's like, oh, really? I don't believe you. So he wants to make sure that Harvey's interests are still aligned with his, and he's going to make Harvey like prove his loyalty.
Then Frank Gallo and Mike meet to talk about a conspiracy with a construction firm, and he needs evidence of it. Gallo says that's who they work for, and they were like very out in the open about it, and that they would call it rehabilitation.
Mm-hmm. Then we see Alex, and he is mad at Harvey for going to see Pat Madison at the construction firm at Rehab Corps, whatever it is, Reform Corps. Alex is like, you need to just come clean with Mike so that Mike knows to drop this. Mm-hmm. Like, he needs to know, quit it. And Harvey says, no. Don't do that. Mike is going to let it go. Do not worry, Alex. And as soon as he said this, I was like, uh-oh. Mike is not going to let it go.
No, he's not.
Mike is a dog with a bone.
Donna wants to know what happened with Harvey, Alex, and Mike. And Harvey wants to know where Mike is. Donna says, you should know this. Don't ask a question unless you want to know the answer. And he's like, oh, good, Mike.
Yeah. It seems like Donna's a little out of the loop now that she's not Harvey's secretary.
Yeah. And I bet that drives her crazy.
Yeah.
Man, when you know everything and then you don't know everything, that's a hard thing.
Especially you get a title boost, but now you're less in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes sense too, because I feel like when you're lower on the quote unquote totem pole, you know everything.
Yeah.
You know everything.
Yeah.
So Mike then closes the door. He's in Benjamin's office, and he asks him to do a hack on a government entity. Mm-hmm. And Benjamin's like, okay, but I need to know what this is for because I'm going to have to bill it to the case.
Yeah.
And he needs to also know if this is mock or real, because the last time he hacked in to do something, it was for mock trial, for pretending that Mike and Rachel were already married. Mm-hmm. So Mike says, no, Benjamin, this is real, and Harvey cannot know.
And Benjamin does it.
Benjamin has blind loyalty to Mike Ross, just like everyone else.
Well, because Mike brings him bags of bacon.
I noticed that he didn't bring a bag of bacon,
but I think it's...
He's built up enough.
He built up a lot of bacon goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Bringing home the bacon.
Yeah. Harvey, meek and humble, talks to Rachel about the Alex-Mike situation. He asks if she can be honest with him, and then she tells him everything, mm-hmm. which she had permission to do.
Yeah, thank goodness she got permission from her fiance. Her con artist fiance.
Yeah.
So Rachel then comes home, and she tells Mike, and Mike says, Rachel, you are not going to believe And she's just like, wait, I have to tell you that I told Harvey, because he's so excited about whatever he's found. And Mike says it doesn't actually matter that you told him. They didn't just use inmates to supplement the workforce at these prisons. The inmates were the entire workforce.
Yeah.
So Reform Corps isn't just like, oh, we're doing this rehabilitation program. They are using basically entirely inmate labor, which is akin to slave labor. It's like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
So there is nothing Harvey can do about this. Rachel says Harvey could fire Mike for this, actually. And Mike says, if he lets me go, he lets me go. Like, I'm doing the right thing here.
Yeah. Lewis, Harvey, and Donna meet to vote, and Harvey has a big move he needs to make. Alex has a gun to his head, and we know what Harvey says about that.
Turn it around.
Turn it around. Harvey has a way out of it, but there's going to be some consequences for Mike. And they're like, all right, let's fucking go. Which is interesting, because they're never worried about consequence. They're trying to protect any consequences for Mike.
I was glad that there were going to be consequences for Mike, because no one ever wants to have Mike face any consequences.
No.
They all want to take all of Mike's consequences for themselves. So Mike goes and he gives Anita all this evidence she needs. He's really excited about it. Turns out Harvey Specter just took on Reform Corps. So it wasn't the construction company, wasn't Reform Corps. Sorry.
Yeah.
Reform Corps were the people who were used by the construction company to build all the prisons, and they were 100% of the construction crews. So now that Harvey has Reform Corps as a client, none of this evidence is admissible because Mike works for Harvey. Good job. A consequence for not dropping.
Right. Mike yells at Harvey about signing Reform Corps, and Harvey says he needs Mike to have his back, but he won't tell him because he can't trust him. And if he so much as calls Oscar Reyes to wish him a happy birthday, he is fired. Mike needs to take the night to decide if he trusts Harvey enough to keep working there.
Finally.
Yeah, this is crazy.
I thought this was a really important conversation for Mike and Harvey to have.
Really?
Because it's such a weird relationship, because they like tit for tat and like go at each other a little bit and like friendly competition. But at some point, Harvey needs to be like, you are not having my back. Just like Jessica had to do with Harvey. Yeah. Like, you need to have my back on this and understand that I am leading this firm.
Yeah.
Harvey is then staring out the window, and Donna's like, is it worth it to help Alex if we lose Mike? Coming in to try and save Mike, to stop the consequences. And she also wants to know what Alex did and why Harvey owes him so badly. She's like, you gotta tell me what went on.
Knock, knock. Alex is going to see Mike.
Even though Harvey said don't do it.
Yeah. But he does that all the time. Like, he went out and saw like Harold Gunderson, and he saw what's his face from the first season, the guy that almost got Rachel fired.
Oh, Mike?
Also his name. Mike went to go see, what was that guy's name?
Oh, gosh.
I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about? Like, Michael just goes see people.
Yeah, but this time Alex is going to see Mike.
Yes.
No one listens to Harvey.
Yeah. He is there to come clean.
Then we hear what actually happened. So when Alex was at Bratton Gould, Bratton told him that there was only one way back after he got put on the shit list because of Harvey's deal falling through, which we will talk about in this flashback. Basically, a guy was killed on the job in this prison, and then the guard who reported that this guy was killed was murdered, and all of Alex's bonuses were tied to this construction firm and to Reform Corps and this whole scandal. So it looked like he was helping cover up various crimes, right, because he was getting paid more when things were going away, when the problems were going away. Yeah. And he has a wife, he has a daughter, and so it looks really bad for him to have all of this happening. So Donna is reacting to Harvey also telling this story. Alex is coming clean, Harvey's coming clean to Donna, and Donna's like, he could have called. And Harvey tells her, you could have called about Mike. Like, we all could do something, but when you're complicit in a crime, it makes it a little more complicated. Yeah. They were really setting Alex up. And he's telling Mike he doesn't have to let it go, but he needs to know what would happen if he doesn't let it go. And it's that I love that line.
I'm not telling you to let it go. I'm just telling you what will happen if you don't. Then we have a flashback, which we love. A real great flashback. Donna has to leave work early for her 6-month anniversary with Mark. And Harvey thinks it's funny that she's celebrating 6 months, but he got her a gift card to help pay for it, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Do you think this is the same gift card that he later gives to the construction firm?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's like, this is a 10-year-old gift,
It's just
7-year-old
like,
gift card.
I'm getting you a gift card for you for your anniversary with your boyfriend to go pay for the dinner. It just feels weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
She asked if he can just not call or interrupt the whole night because that would be the great gift. I hope she still took the gift card and bought a purse. You know,
For sure. Oh, do you think it was like a Visa gift card? I thought it was like a restaurant gift card.
I was hoping it's a Visa gift card. She could just go get another wallet to go inside one of those purses he bought her.
That's perfect. Yeah. It is funny. My mom used to always hate, like in high school, when like high schoolers are dating and they're celebrating their 1-month anniversary. And she was like, ugh, Annie means year.
That's so funny.
Like,
But she's not wrong.
You can't have a 1-month anniversary.
Well, we have a couple of these little baby bursaries.
I know.
Yeah.
And they are little baby versaries. Little bitty versaries. Then we see Lewis in this flashback, and he is trying to get rid of an associate's goldfish, like a pet goldfish, not goldfish snacks. No one would ever get rid of goldfish snacks. No. They're delicious. And it's a flashback. Daddy Pearson comes in and corrects him and is like, you need to go to therapy, my dude.
Yeah.
You are taking out a lot of stuff on this associate's goldfish. You need to figure your life out.
Yeah, go work it out. Jessica tells Harvey that Daniel Hardman wants him to work with Lewis, and Harvey confronts her about not having his back. She tells him to put his ego aside and get the job done. And she's like, I sucked it up for years, now it's your turn. And he's got to at least pretend to bend a knee.
Just pretend.
Just pretend. Just whatever.
Do a prop knee fall. Harvey visits Lewis then to talk about this Reinsdorf case. Lewis's strategy and Harvey's strategy could not be more different per the usual. But Lewis is in charge. He's the junior partner. He tells Harvey, like, you can get on board or you can go crying to your mama. And Harvey decides he's going to take the knee. He's going to say, okay, you're in charge.
Yeah. Harvey asked Donna to move the Reinsdorf trial up to tomorrow and not tell Lewis. And she's like, I don't think so. But she does. If they don't do this trick, then they will lose. He says that this will help Jessica know that she can trust him.
Even though Jessica specifically asked him to work with Lewis.
Yeah.
So she cannot trust him because he is not doing... Gosh, she's like a little Mike Ross over here. So Jessica is obviously not happy about this. And she interrupts Harvey right before the court case starts, before the trial kicks off.
Yep.
And she takes over and she goes, actually, my associate here, Harvey Specter, is going to go back to the firm and I'm going to lead this. And he goes, but you don't even know what this is about. And she goes, that's fine. Take a step aside. You did this to yourself.
Yeah. He's like, don't embarrass me in court, Jessica. She's like, no, dude.
You've embarrassed yourself. Also, nothing about Jessica Pearson is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Jessica Pearson shows up and kicks you out of court. Not embarrassing.
No.
Not at all embarrassing. Yeah. Everyone understands. So, like, there's Jessica Pearson. We get it.
Yeah. Harvey asks Alex if the 2 junior partners' offer is still on the table. They're at a hot dog stand. So glad to see that he's loved hot dogs all of his adult life.
All 7 years.
Yeah. Alex tells Harvey if he wants respect, he's got to show respect. So Harvey says if Alex gets him everything he asked for, then he will come over there.
And it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. He's asking for the moon.
But shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
Jessica then asks Lewis what he did to make Harvey go and try to take the Reinsdorf trial without him, because she knows that there's 2 sides to this story. And she says, Lewis, you have a chip on your shoulder and you need to go to therapy. And he's like, what? I'm the most stable, secure man you've ever met.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
No, he's on.
Sweet, sweet Lewis Litt. So not self-aware.
Donna and Harvey try to strategize what to do. Harvey tells her about Bratton Gould, and Donna says that's not fair. That Jessica has always been in his corner, and Harvey says it's too late, it's a done deal. But Donna's like, hey, you can't just make this kind of decision about my life without talking to me first, which I thought it was interesting because, like, she was assuming that their lives were actually that intertwined and that he wanted her to go with her, and he also assumed that she would. Like, there's a lot of big assumptions there.
Huge assumptions.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she doesn't have to go with him if she wants to stay at Pearson Specter.
Yeah.
I mean, Pearson Hardman at this point.
Yeah.
Then Donna is on her date with Mark, which Harvey is not going to interrupt. And they share this like bottle of rosé, and he presents her with a book of Shakespeare's sonnets, which was her favorite class in college. How did he know? And he's like, oh, I do my homework. Like, he's so romantic. He bought her these sonnets. And she starts talking about Harvey, of course, because Harvey's just dropped this huge bomb on her future. And Mark is like, wow, Harvey's really a silent partner in our relationship. And it makes me wonder if it's really the job you love. And he doesn't really finish that sentence.
Yeah.
But she can't promise that she won't follow Harvey to any job for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Which, whoa.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, then I guess I have my answer. I'm like, well, to what question? Were you asking yourself a question?
Yeah. You didn't really ask a question. You're just wondering if it's really the job she loves. And then her answer made him think, no, you love Harvey Specter.
Louis goes to meet Dr. Lipschitz for the first time. And Louis thinks he's a Nazi because he is bald and has a German accent.
Yeah, but Lipschitz is actually Jewish, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Though he was raised a proud German and Jew, Louis is there because no matter what he does, no one respects him.
Louis then spends the next 40 minutes going over every single person who has ever shown disrespect to him since he was born. And Lipschitz asks whose respect he craves the most. And Louis knows immediately. He knows that it's Harvey Specter, who he describes as a cross between Marlon Brando and Superman. And also says that Harvey's his best friend. Lipschitz is so excited about this. Mm-hmm. He's like, this is great. Because he describes Louis as a man with no skin. He is so transparent. He is so easy to read. He just says exactly what he is thinking and feeling in that moment, which is true. Louis has zero filter.
Yeah.
And so Lipschitz is excited to take Louis on as a client and says he will always be there for him. He will always be able to help him. And Louis is like, actually, the last thing I need in this entire world is to go to therapy. So he just kind of gets up and leaves abruptly.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes later. Harvey tells Jessica he's expecting a job offer from Bratton Gould. And he said that he only took it because she made it clear she doesn't respect him. Screw the long run.
Screw it.
She gives him the rundown about how she picked him out of the mailroom. And she's not going to give him a promotion till he's ready. And she wishes him luck.
Mm-hmm. Which, good for her.
Yeah.
Alex then pitches the Harvey-Alex duo to Bratton Gould. And then Bratton is like, if I pull this offer that I have to this hotshot, then I'm going to be left with my dick in my hands. And
I was like, that's weird that, like, as soon as you pull an offer, your hand lands on your dick.
And then you keep it there until
and then you just
someone
let it hold it?
Yeah.
Like a little basket of sourdough? Like a
little sourdough starter.
Yeah.
Until you have to shake hands with the new person that you're hiring, I guess.
Squatty long dick.
Squatty long dick. Alex does not want to have Bratton have his dick in his hand. And he says, don't worry. Harvey has given me his word. Mm-hmm. And then Bratton's like, great, I've got 2 new partners. And he also says, if this goes south, your ass, Alex, is on the line.
Yeah. And we find out it did go south.
If Bratton has to hold his dick for one more second.
Oh, it's so heavy.
It's Alex's ass.
He needs a sling.
Little banana hammock.
He really just needs some nice briefs.
Yeah.
Louis confronts Donna about moving his court date, and Donna tells him Harvey is leaving on Monday and blames Louis for her life being a mess.
So drama.
It is drama.
I disagree, Donna.
Yeah.
Louis then stops Jessica while she is leaving to apologize for Harvey leaving, and he co-stopped Dr. Lipschitz saying that he looks for signs of disrespect because he doesn't respect himself. And then Louis tells her, don't let Harvey go. And Jessica grants Louis control over the associates. Mm-hmm. And then there's this song that plays in the background that has the lyrics, oh no, I've made a big mistake.
Which is literally how Jessica probably feels right after giving the associates to Louis.
Like, oh no, he had like this one aha moment from Dr. Lipschitz, and she gives him control over all of these associates.
Kind of a slip in judgment on her part.
For sure, she jumped the gun there.
Yeah, she did jump the gun. Jessica talks to Harvey as he's packing up his office. She said that she went and told Hartman if the next person that he promotes isn't Harvey to junior partner, then she's gone. She wants to be on his team. And this makes Harvey shake his head and sigh. And, Donna walks in to tell him that Alex Williams just called. It's a done deal. And he tells her he should have asked her first. And she's like, for the record, I would have gone with you. Mm-hmm. But, like, they know now that because of what Jessica said.
All of them are just making such rash decisions.
I know.
Louis then calls Dr. Lipschitz, which is the least rash decision, and he says, you were right, and he schedules an appointment.
Yeah, he wants to do 5 days a week, but he just starts with Monday.
Yeah. So. Which we know how this plays out. He will continue to call Dr. Lipschitz.
Yes.
For the next 7 years.
Yes. Harvey tells Alex he is staying at Pearson Hartman. Harvey knows this put Alex in a bad spot. Harvey promises someday that Alex will need help with something, and Harvey will be there to help him. Man to man, he has to stay with Jessica. Alex says someday he's going to come calling.
And you know what's interesting? Alex didn't go calling.
Harvey went calling.
Mm-hmm. Harvey
Ring,
came
ring.
calling.
Ring a ring.
Ring, ring. It's me, Harvey Specter. I'm standing in front of you, and I want you to come to my firm. Mm-hmm. It was a good episode. Some good setups here.
Yeah.
Love a flashback.
All right, let's get it done. Ready?
Yeah, here comes episode 8.
Here comes episode 8. Hundo.
Before the credits.
Harvey's dangling an apartment key as he calls Paula, who he hasn't talked to in a few days. And she goes, okay, to make it up to me, how about you let me take you out to dinner on Thursday? He was like, that's kind of weird.
Kinky. Great punishment.
Yeah. The way that they just talk to each other in these like 3-sentence conversations and then they're fine. But also like later on, there's a conversation like this with Donna and Mark that's really quick. It's a little bit longer, but it's just like, look, this is weird dating calls. Okay? Not weird mating calls, but weird dating calls.
Yeah. You know what? They're cramming a lot. In a real call, there would be a lot more conversation in between.
I think so.
They're cutting a lot of it. Then we see Donna. She pours herself a glass of wine, and she's still got that Shakespeare sonnet book from Mark. And she's just kind of in her apartment, and she starts to read it, and then she drunk dials him. And he is still at his office. And they're going to meet for lunch tomorrow at the place, by the thing, with the thing. Like old times.
And didn't
7 years later.
And didn't decide on a time. That's what also drove me crazy. They just were going to go meet at this place and not have a time.
That's it. We'll meet there.
Whatever. Mike goes to see Harvey at his apartment. He tells him that Alex told him everything. And Harvey's like, prove it. Which is such like a kindergartner thing to say. Prove it, dude.
Oh, yeah? Tell me his secret
Come
then.
on, y'all. Mike wants to help Alex. If Batman and Robin can't help him, then no one can.
So they got to find out.
Cagney and Lacey might be able to help him.
Oh, yeah. They should have.
Yeah, they should have had Cagney and Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to find their Commissioner Gordon, someone on the inside.
I wonder who that's going to be. Mm-hmm. So Harvey then visits Daddy Zane at his home, and he's got this box of files that just happen to be about Reform Corps. Daddy Zane could make a shit ton of money on this case. All he has to do is show up for one meeting, and Zane says, if you leave these with me, the case is mine, and I'm going to fight you. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not going to be just I roll over. And Harvey's like, that's fine.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zane is always up front.
And Harvey usually knows what he's getting into.
He usually does. Right.
Yeah, usually. Then we hear our favorite franchise song.
Our favorite franchise song. Greenback Boogie. So we have a couple different storylines here.
Yeah, let's start.
Let's start with the more tactical, boring one, because then there's the juicy, hot one.
Yeah.
So Daddy Zane versus Reform Corps. Mm-hmm. Alex asks Mike why Zane has opened up the case again. Mm-hmm. And he says, I guess your word is shit. And Mike says, there's not going to be a trial. Do not worry. All you need to do is make sure that Matterson Construction stands down. Like, just make sure that they don't fight Zane.
Right. Reform Corp CEO tells Harvey that he needs to take care of this whole thing. And then Robert Zane presents a settlement offer. Zane has an eyewitness. And the CEO says he better make sure that Frank Gallo doesn't testify. Because he knows. Mm-hmm. Shapiro is his name.
Shapiro is the CEO, the Reform Corps CEO?
Yeah.
Shapiro. So then Mike goes down to see Harvey about how this whole Zane thing went down. Because Zane was supposed to just present a settlement offer. And it was supposed to be fine. But now Zane has taken this to court. Mm-hmm. And Harvey's like, it did not go well. So now I have to convince Frank Gallo not to testify. And Mike's like, whoa. You, Harvey Specter, should not do that. I should do that. Mike Ross should go to prison. Mm-hmm. And then Mike proceeds to go to try and bribe Frank Gallo with a check. And then Frank's like, no, I'm on Robert Zane's team now. Like, I'm not working for you. Mm-hmm. I need to come clean for my daughter. I need her to see that I can do this, that I can be an upstanding witness, and I can stand up for what's wrong. No matter what Harvey or Mike try to do will not change that Frank Gallo has been convinced by Robert Zane that he needs to just do the right thing for his daughter.
Yeah.
It's that daddy-daughter bond.
Rachel is pouring a heavy glass of wine and gives Mike the cold shoulder. She just found out the witness in the case is Frank Gallo. and that Harvey and Mike went to her daddy, and she's super pissed. She's like, when were you going to tell me? It's like, remember we saw this a couple episodes ago. Like, when was he going to tell her about going to the big vodka party? Like, when were you going
to tell me that you got a job as a teacher?
I'm
when are you going to tell me?
until you figure it out, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Oops.
Yeah,
like
Mike
this
is
lying by omission shit is
shitty fiance.
Yeah, I'm not saying you need to tell. Like, you don't have to tell them what you ate for lunch today.
But
like,
you should
that's
tell them some things.
But like, this is big stuff. You should be telling them. Yeah.
She tells him, you need to get through your head that I'm a grown woman and I'm not a damsel in distress who needs protecting.
Yeah.
Get Meghan of Sussex.
Get it? Yeah, Meghan of Sussex. Harvey confronts Zane. He didn't bring it to Zane to bring it to court.
He wanted a settlement.
I know. But Robert Zane doesn't give a shit about Alex Williams. This is personal for Robert Zane. So many kids from his neighborhood ended up in prison like this. And either they will take his offer or they will go to trial. Either way, they're going to pay.
It's like $200 million or something. It's a hefty chunk of change.
It's a big old check.
Big old check in their hands. Mm-hmm. Harvey and Mike then try to game plan this whole thing, and they're in Mike's apartment, and it's weird because Mike's telling him that it's about Frank Gallo's daughter, and Harvey's like, we got to find some dirt on Robert Zane, but he's in Rachel Zane's apartment, which I'm like, Harvey, what are you doing? And Mike's like, I don't want to blackmail my future father-in-law. And then Rachel is obviously listening because this is not a huge apartment. Mm-hmm. And she's like, hey, no, stop trying to blackmail my dad. I've got a way that we can get Frank Gallo not to testify, but no one is going to like it. But this is a big girl panties idea. Mm-hmm. Okay? This is me not being a little girl.
Yeah. Mike and Harvey talk about Rachel's idea, which is interesting because they like pick up this conversation from the next day. It's like exactly what they were saying, and then they're like, pause. Let's go to bed. Let's get up, shower, let's get dressed, and then we'll pick up the rest of this conversation in this tracking shot.
That idea Rachel presented.
Yeah. So they're talking about it, and they're doing a little walk and talk, a little tracking shot at the courthouse. They have a hearing in 5 minutes, and they don't have a way to stop Frank Gallo. Bratton from Bratton Gould is there to tell him to make it stop, or he will take it over and offer up a sacrificial lamb of Alex Williams.
Which is what they do not want.
No, they don't want those.
The judge in this case asks for proof that Frank Gallo would be perjuring himself because that's the whole plan. This is like, Harvey says Frank Gallo is going to perjure himself on the stand, and he presents photos of Rachel saying that Frank was threatening Robert Zane, that Frank sent these photos of Rachel to her daddy, Robert Zane. Mm-hmm. And so there was this threat, and then Frank was going to perjure himself. It was like this elaborate ruse. Mm-hmm. And this is obviously a lie. Mm-hmm. And this is part of Rachel's big girl, I'm a woman plan.
Yeah, dude. Robert goes to beat up Harvey in the bathroom, and Mike tells him it was Rachel's idea. And Robert says to tell Reform Corps that Frank Gallo is going to take that stand one way or another, and there's nothing they can do to stop it.
Yeah. He's Big Daddy mad.
Yeah.
You know, we keep calling him like Big Daddy or Daddy Zane. Did you ever see the movie Big Daddy?
I don't think so.
With Adam Sandler?
I don't know if I did.
It's like one of my favorite movies when
I
it came
love
out.
Adam Sandler.
Oh my gosh. It was one of the first movies that I cried in. But it's also so funny.
I love the Chalamet bit that's going around right now.
The Chalamet bit?
Yeah. Nikki Glaser hosted the Golden Globes. Mm-hmm. Crushed.
Did a great job.
She did a great job. And she did a bit where she was like, Timothy Chalamet, that sounds like something that Adam Sandler would say. A Chalamet, a good Chalamet to you.
Timothy Chalamet.
She says, Sandler, are you here? And he's like, yeah. She's like, can I get one? He's like, a Chalamet. And so he did it. And then at the Oscars, he was in his hooded sweatshirt and shorts, which is what I always tell people. I'm so sorry I'm dressed like Adam Sandler today.
It's so
in
good.
This meeting. And he ran down the aisle and like hugged Timothy Chalamet. He's like, oh, Chalamet. So it's like now it's this greeting. It's a thing.
I love it. I'm going to start greeting people. Chalamet.
Oh, Chalamet.
I missed the Oscars because I was watching Suits LA.
Yeah.
Suits LA. Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Harvey then goes to see the judge because he has some relevant information about Reform Corps, but the judge is like, listen, I'm cutting you off. Frank Gallo is dead. He was murdered in his cell last night. Yikes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Harvey confronts Reform Court CEO, which is Shapiro, by yelling, you murdered Frank Gallo. But the CEO is not going to lose a second of sleep about it. Then Robert Zane waltzes in with the laptop. It's got Frank's deposition on it. And Frank is the one who killed the guard because Roger Shapiro is the one who asked him to do it. After Frank killed the guard, he said he was out, I'm done. And then the next night, Roger Shapiro had sent 5 of his friends to beat him up. Robert Zane says if he doesn't settle this, he's going to go to one of his own prisons in 5 seconds. And he's going to settle. He's like, I think that's something I can work with. But Harvey says he's got to write something up for him first. I learned something here about the law. That because it was a deathbed confessional, that it is admissible in court.
It is.
Normally it wouldn't be because he was representing him, but because it's a confessional, he is. Hang on one second. Whiskey. Please, we're on a time crunch.
How'd you learn that? Google? Or because he says it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank goodness he got that on tape too, because that's so good for him to come out and say all of that. Mm-hmm. So then Alice confronts Braden. He demands his affidavit back, and then Harvey comes in, and he's like, and you, Mr. Bratton, need to resign. They show the signed confession from Alex Shapiro about the conspiracy arranged by Bratton. That's the one thing that Harvey needed, was this affidavit saying Bratton orchestrated this whole thing. They have already written him a resignation letter. All he needs to do is sign above his name. And then Alex tells Harvey that now that they are leaving Bratton's office and they've done this deed together, they're even. Like, they're good for Harvey leaving Bratton's dick in his hands.
Mike apologizes to Robert Zane about what he did. He says he would never do anything to hurt her, meaning Rachel, and that she should have known not to do anything to hurt him. Robert is not losing sleep about Frank Gallo dying. They cheers.
No one is losing sleep about Frank Gallo dying.
Which is a bummer. I think the actor who plays Frank Gallo does a really great job with that role.
He does a fantastic
It's
role.
a really good recurring role. Like, it really is.
And he did a great job. He brought that character to life. And
then to death. So.
I would lose sleep over that. Yeah. I would feel guilt about that, I think.
But these guys don't.
They don't. They're like, hey, whatever.
They don't give a fuck.
He was a bad guy. Then Mike goes to visit Lisa Gallo, who is Frank Gallo's daughter.
Denise, I think.
Huh?
Is it Denise?
Oh, is it Denise or Lise? Maybe I heard Lise.
You
Denise?
know what? I think it's both.
Denise Lisa. Denelisa. The Mona Lisa, the Denelisa Gallo. And he presents her with this check and tells her, you know what? Your dad was a decent man. And she's kind of like, what? No one ever says that.
Right. Paul and Harvey are on their date. It's a table with a very large candle.
It's humongous.
It's like a big candle that somebody's on, like, on a coffee table. I hope they have a candle permit for that. She presents him a little present and tells him it's their 2-month anniversary. We don't know what it is. And then he got her something too, which is a key to his apartment. He actually didn't get it for her for the anniversary because I didn't know it was their anniversary, but he was going to give her the key. So it was like really sweet. Noted that he probably had to get Donna to give the key back.
Donna gave the key back a few episodes ago.
Right.
And I was like, oh, he just took that key.
He's like, I need somebody else to have it and make sure I get my shit done. And
I need someone to be able to check on me if I don't respond to phones.
Yeah.
So then we see this other storyline, which is my favorite storyline possibly of the season so far. It's all these exes and flings coming to life. So we start, and it's Lewis, and he is flustered. And he yells at Gretchen about these applications, which she has already prepared everything. But he's like, these don't feel right. The stack of papers, they feels like they're one applicant light. And he is right, because Columbia did not send any applicants. And then they just get into this like argument, and they talk kind of mean to each other. And he's going to walk his ass right down to Columbia and confront these fools who have not sent an applicant.
He does.
And he walks that tight little booty all the way down.
He yells, I need to talk to the person in charge of recruiting, and he barges in, and it's Sheila Amanda Saz.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh, she gasped. She looks like an angel.
Gasped.
Oh, you gasped. She probably did gasp, too, because she was not expecting. Were you not expecting this?
Have I been predicting and hoping and manifesting that Sheila Saz comes back? Yes, every single day. Every single minute of every single day. Was I expecting it right now? Her working at Columbia? Absolutely not.
No,
she looks like a goddamn angel. She's in all white. The lighting around her like a flippin' halo. She is Louis Litt's soulmate, and here she is
about to get married.
Right there.
To not him.
Get married at Columbia.
Also that she moved to New York.
To be with
a fiance.
Which is the best. Yeah, she's not about to get married to Louis Litt. She's about to get married to some other schmuck.
Louis is very understanding. It's actually interesting how much he like keeps his cool, you know? And Sheila says she will send over the best and the brightest now because she was kind of avoiding him. And he's like, it's good to see you. She's like, it's good to see you, Louis.
That was a good Sheila Saz impression.
Thank you. I've been trying to do impressions lately.
That's really good.
Whiskey likes them.
Okay, so then we see Donna and Mark, and they're out to eat, and they're just reliving all these old memories, and they're like, oh no, and then you said it's Mr. Dipshit. Ha 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 ha. It's just like old times. And he's like, oh, did you ever leave that job you had? And she goes, yeah, well, kind of. I'm the COO now. And he's like, wow, that's great. I got married 3 years ago, but I think about you all the time. And Donna is simply not down to be the other woman.
She's not. She's not down to clown.
Depo, what would you do in this situation?
What do you mean?
You're sitting down, you're having a wonderful lunch with someone who's like an old
flame.
And then they're like, by the way, I'm married. But I think about you all the time.
I would leave.
You'd do what Donna did and just like get up.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not here to wreck a home. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, because it's clearly not friends getting together.
Also, a relationship that starts in deceit ends in deceit.
You lose them how you get them.
It's exactly right. Mm-hmm. What else can we say? What are the other quotes? Come on. Okay, we're on a time crunch.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Louis lives on the roof. He is like Batman, maybe like the Penguin, like he's just staring out over New York City.
Yeah.
And then Donna comes up to also get some space to also stare off the roof. Mm-hmm. And he tells her about Sheila getting married. And twice in 1 year, he has found out that the love of his life does not want to be with him. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you would never understand that. And Donna's like, actually, I do get it, because this has kind of happened to her too.
Yeah.
Harvey doesn't want to be with her. Mark's already married.
Yeah.
So she feels kind of like, I don't really want to leave you alone up here. So they just kind of stay together and have this nice moment.
Yeah. Gretchen tells Louis that Sheila called to see how they liked her candidate. And Louis says he never wants to see Sheila, talk to her, or hear her name. This is when he's really rude to Gretchen. Yeah. And she's like, tell me what's going on. And he won't. And I think Gretchen deserved to be told what was going on.
Well, it helps her be better at her job, too.
Yes. Yeah.
Everyone else knows about Sheila Saz.
Yeah.
Like, just let her know.
Yeah.
Mark then calls Donna late at night, little booty call, and he says, I cannot walk away from you again. Mm-hmm. I'm not going back to Connecticut until Saturday, and I would like to see you. Mm-hmm. I'm in room 508 at the Carlisle, and I won't be able to handle my wife before tomorrow, but I just had to call. Mm-hmm. Handle his wife. He won't be able to handle his wife's situation. That small little situation of being married.
Married to somebody, yeah. Sounds like a really good guy.
He did buy Shakespeare's sonnets 7 years ago.
Whatever. Louis answers the phone thinking it's Gretchen, but it's Sheila. She says that she lied, that she hasn't gotten him out of her system, and she wants his body one last time before she walks down the aisle. She wants him to rock her world 6 ways from Sunday, and she's finally going to let him do the thing that he's always wanted to do with the accents. She'll be waiting for him in their old hotel suite. Rachel's like, hey, you got to come down to the bullpen and see this funny thing. And he was like, I cannot get up right now because my Mr. Lit is thinking about Miss Saz.
Mr. Lit is fired up.
He is definitely lit up. Mm-hmm. And she's like, hey, you got to I can't tell you what to do here. I can't advise you. Interesting that Rachel's like, Louis, you can't do it. She's like, I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you.
Because she had an affair.
She did. They all,
So she's kind of like, you do what you need to do. And I don't think she regretted the Logan affair.
Yeah. So he's like, I really just want to feel good about myself for the night because things haven't gone my way. So I want to go sleep around, I guess he's not sleeping around, but he is still, he knows.
He knows. Then we see it's the next day after this late night booty call. So it's the day of Mark's actual intended booty call with Donna, but she hasn't decided if she's going to go. She's lurking behind Paula, who happens to be in Harvey's office, and she's alone kind of waiting for him. She stopped by to surprise him for their 2-month anniversary. And Donna already knows that they've been dating for 2 months. And she suggests that she make a reservation at Carbone, which is one of Harvey's favorite places. Guess what? Paula's his girlfriend. She already has a reservation there. She knows him just as well as Donna, it seems.
Donna goes to visit Mark, while Louis goes to visit Sheila in a slow-motion hotel lobby walkthrough. They're at the same hotel. You have in parentheses, is this going to be a weird foursome? You know what's funny? When I was watching it tonight, I've seen this how many times? I'm like, I can't remember. Do they run into each other?
They should run into each other. How funny if they were
they
in
go
the
to each
room
other's
next
rooms.
door.
Yeah, right.
They could hear each other.
Yeah.
So Donna goes and she knocks on the door, and as she does, Rachel texts her, you deserve the best, because when Donna was like leaving that conversation with Paula, Rachel intercepted her and was like, we should go out tonight. And she goes, actually, I have something, And so this reminder from Donna, or this reminder to Donna from Rachel, like, you deserve the best.
And this isn't the best.
This is not the best. Mark opens the door and she's like, I cannot do this. This isn't it for me. What am I doing here? What have I done? Why am I even here?
What have I done? I've made a huge mistake.
I've made a huge mistake. Meanwhile,
Lewis lit.
Sheila opens the door.
And she's like, I didn't think you'd come.
And he goes,
he's
how
like,
could I not?
How could I not?
How could I not? Which I agree with. This did not make me upset.
Really?
This didn't make me upset.
It's interesting because they're still, though, but she's still committed to somebody. She's engaged.
They are doing the same exact thing, except for Donna and Mark don't make sense. Sheila and Lewis, we know they are what's supposed to happen. Sheila is making a huge mistake.
She needs to call her fiance and be like, you know what? I either need a pass tonight or we're over.
She needs to.
Whatever they're, if they have an open engagement or whatever.
And I doubt it. Yeah, she needs
to break it off.
She needs to break it off for sure. You cannot have Lewis Litt's body doing accents and whatever else and then continue to get married in T-2 weeks. You know what? That Carlisle Hotel was in New York City, but sometimes I like to go stay at hotels in other towns.
And sometimes you have to take a train there.
Yeah, and I was wondering if you wanted to do like a little gals trip to Prediction Town.
I love a gals trip. It's like spring break almost.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay. I believe divinely that Sheila and Lewis are going to end up together because that's why he couldn't say no. And that is why Donna did say no, because she is not supposed to be with this man that we were just introduced to in season 7. But we have been in love with them together for a while now. Like, we've been craving this.
Okay.
Craving their bodies together.
Yes.
I wonder if maybe Tara is going to come back once Sheila and Lewis get together just to add a little spice. Like, now she's got this baby. Now there's some drama,
Okay. Okay.
I think Rachel is going to ultimately go to work for her dad, and then he is going to take Mike Ross with them too. There's just like, it feels like they need to go off and be a little family with Daddy Zane.
Okay.
Too much tension with Harvey right now and Mike. Even though they worked well together. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I think Donna's going to confess her love for Harvey and have like this deep spiral that comes out where she's just like, I love you, Harvey. And then maybe the next episode, her and Rachel are getting drinks and it all comes out. Like, she just confesses everything from all of it.
Okay.
And I think that Alex is going to be an even better attorney and a super powerhouse because now he's all above board. Like, he's good to go. And I think he's less pompous than Mike Ross. So I think he's going to be a great addition to this firm.
Those are all excellent.
Thank you.
You just continue to impress me. I've realized how hard the prediction life is.
Prediction life ain't for
And
everyone.
I haven't been about that life for over a year until now, and it's hard.
Mm-hmm. Suits LA predictions. Hard to do, too, because we don't really know these characters yet in Suits LA.
Yeah. Still, though, I'm kind of struggling. I'll get there.
You'll get there. And I'm starting to like some of those characters on Suits LA.
Speaking of, when can people watch this? Suits LA.
People can watch Suits LA
On Sunday nights.
Sunday nights at 8 Central.
Mm-hmm.
But then they can watch us Sunday nights at 9:30 Central when we go live and complete an entire episode recapping what we have just watched 30 minutes prior. It is
hasn't even
incredible.
had time to sink in. We haven't had time to process it, to do any kind of like critical thinking.
Just raw dogging.
Looking at the long game with it. It's just like, we do raw dog it. It's basically, dude, it's the rawest of dogs.
It's the rawest of dogs. It's a naked dog.
It's a naked dog. So we'd love for you to join us. And what would actually be the best thing that you could do is to like, subscribe, and leave us a review.
Like with words.
I literally just talked to somebody the other day who was telling me how much they love the podcast, and I know they have not left a review. And I'm like, hey, leave a review.
Yeah, leave a review.
We'll give you a shout out.
Like, literally just type a few words.
Just a couple of words.
Just a few words.
That are very, very nice.
Yes.
We're going to sign off.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks so much for tuning in. You can find out everything you want to know about our podcast at onlysuitsfans.com. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, where you can tune in on Sunday nights at 9:30 Central Standard Time, where we will review Suits LA. You can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a review.
And if you want to leave a review and you don't know what to say, you can literally just say, this is such a nice little podcast.
Yeah.
I love it.
That'd be so cute.
It's so cute. I love it.
It's so cute. I love this podcast.
I love this podcast. It's so cute.
It's so
Timothy
cute.
Chalamet.
Chalamet. Chalamet. I thought Chalamet was good. About my Adam Sandler. Chalamet. Timothy.